Okay, welcome to my Let's Play of Pikmin for the GameCube Nintendo. Kind of an old game by now, 2001. And let's just get into it. Most people probably know Pikmin, at this point, probably know Pikmin from Smash. He's been, Olimar and Pikmin have been in Smash, since Brawl. But, it is a game. This is a game that exists. I have done the Kirby Let's Play, but I didn't really finish it, and I struggled with that too. So this is kind of a first for me, even though it's not. So here's our protagonist, Captain Olimar. This game is now 20 years old. It will soon be 20 years old, so I think anybody who's watching this has seen this opening by now. They know the characters. They know who Captain Olimar is. So I'll probably be more inclined to talk over things. And people have been Let's Playing this game for, 15 years already. I'll just do my thing. The impact site.
My name is Captain Olimar. Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days if I can't repair the dolphin by then. No, better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts.
So yeah, that's my voice for Olimar. I kind of got it from Pikmin 2. I think that's what he sounds like. It's either him or Louie. I could be getting it all wrong, but either way, I think they sound pretty similar. But, yeah, I'll be reading it like that unless people don't like it. Whoever ends up watching this. And maybe if they interact with me. Here's our first little discovery. It's an onion. Wait, shout out the little Pikmin.
A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too.
So, I always thought that was interesting, that Olimar's this alien, and he comes from this other planet, but they have onions, just like we have onions.
The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A.
Whatever A is.
Extraordinary. When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C and X as well. Following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings.
If we were playing Earthbound, they'd have some witty thing about the characters in the game knowing what buttons are. Pretty meta.
Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study the strange life form more.
So, I've had kind of a long history with this game. I don't even know how I discovered it, or why I ever wanted to play it in the first place. But I've been wanting to play it since I was in 5th grade, or 4th grade. It was a long time ago. And for a few years, I couldn't play it. We didn't know where to find a copy of it, because by that time it was already 2007, 2008. The game was already 7 years old, so the Wii was already out. You had to go to like a used game store to find it. So for a while we just didn't find it. But me and my friend just loved Pikmin. And eventually I found it. Let me try to get my timeline straight. What happened? Okay. So for some reason, oh, you know what? It must have been from Brawl. I found out about Pikmin from Brawl, and I thought, oh, those are so cute. Funny little creatures. I want to play that game. So I looked it all up on the internet, because I was like, that was my thing. I found most of what I play and I'm interested in on the internet. And Pikmin is no exception. I looked up everything I could about Pikmin, and I watched all kinds of Let's Plays and videos, like the Pikmin 300 video, which was actually my very first YouTube video that I ever saw. There's a video where they put the, look at that. There's a video where they put the audio from 300, the movie. That one guy who kicks the dude in the hole, the Spartans. And they put that audio to Pikmin. Anyway, that was the first video that I ever saw on YouTube. That was my first time even seeing YouTube, was through looking for Pikmin stuff. And I always thought it was so funny because at that time I was like, oh man, what's that website? What was that place called that I saw that Pikmin video on? Oh, I can't remember it. And it's so crazy to imagine that there was a time where I could not remember the name of YouTube. But that was a long time ago. It was like 2008. I think it must have been 2008. Kind of hard to remember. But yeah. So my love for Pikmin came from basically the internet. Let's look at this box here. That is a glorious box. I've never seen a box as incredible as this one. Okay. Yep. I always thought this was a funny little cutscene.
The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct.
Yes. But ever since finding those Let's Plays and walkthroughs, actually the first Let's Play I ever found, or walkthrough, was by a guy named Carl1001. He's still around, but yeah. Since then, I've always wanted to do my own Let's Plays, and again, this was like 13 years ago. I've always wanted to do my own Let's Plays, but I never had the means. I didn't know how to record it, I never had a mic, but here we are now. And I am very late on it, but I'm gonna do the thing that I always wanted to do. I can now, so I will.
Amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin?
Why, with the Pikmin, of course. So, I guess I should talk about the game now. The game is like, in case somehow you don't know what Pikmin is, if anybody's going to be watching this video, it's going to be people who know what Pikmin is, but Pikmin is a kind of a real-time strategy game. Think StarCraft or something, but a baby one. It's a baby StarCraft with cutesy little characters and a pretty natural setting. The main difference, the main thing that differentiates this from other RTS games, real-time strategy games, is that you play as a single character. You are a one character. You're not this omniscient thing that controls troops all across the map, which would be an interesting like hack. If someone could mod this game to be that, where you could control Pikmin from this overview kind of thing.
When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by repeatedly tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin.
He says the game tells you to press it repeatedly, but there's actually a specific window where you can press the button just once, and he'll keep it going. And it's like, you can do it with the sound of them being plucked. They tell you to do it repeatedly because, you know, that works too, and it'd be easier. You don't have to time anything. But, I don't know, I always thought that was interesting. Now, I was watching another Let's Player, Big Dip on a Bus, and he had an interesting thought of, it's very fortunate that the engine fell right here, right where we needed it, because of course if it didn't fall here we would die, and we wouldn't be able to play this game. But he said he thought it'd be interesting if there was a 1 in 30 chance, if everything was randomized and there was a 1 in 30 chance that the engine appeared right here. I thought that was kind of funny. I guess before, we're about to be done with this part of the game. Before we leave, I'd like to take a look at the nature, some of the nature of it. So, I study Japanese. I know some Japanese, I learned some Japanese. And I think this is a very Japanese game. It's very odd, it's very cute, it's very strange, different. And that is very much in line with Japan's aesthetic, popular aesthetic. So I wonder if this is part of what got me into Japanese in the first place. There's that over there, that's a part, but we won't be able to get there yet. There's only one thing for us to do here. I've always loved nature, and so I've always loved this game, the setting of this game. It's just pretty, even though it's fake. And you know, things are pixelated. If you look really close, you can see that things are kind of low res. But it doesn't matter to me. It's just pretty. I've always wished I could be in the world of Pikmin. While we're waiting for this engine, I guess I'll say that maybe I've talked too much, maybe I've not talked enough. I'm not really sure what to do, so I'm kind of just going at it. One other thing is that normally when I play the game, I do not let Pikmin die. If a Pikmin dies, I reset. I start the day over, but I'm not going to let my perfectionism get in the way. It is just a game after all, so if they die, you know, it happens. Nobody's perfect. I'll keep it in the recording. I'll kind of keep that same energy for recording as well. If I mess up, I'm not going to try to be too perfect. Which is a problem I have. That cute little arpeggio.
Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly, but what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow.
And that's the first day. There are the Pikmin running in line. Hopefully I did okay, and hopefully I'll continue to do okay. But I'm gonna try to just have fun with this and let this be just a fun little thing that I've always wanted to do, and get it done.
One day since impact. I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hocotate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I name it the Forest of Hope. I explore it tomorrow.
The Pikmin population. Here's what I'd like. The Lost in Battle and the Left Behind to stay at 0. But again, I'm not going to reset if it doesn't. There's actually a glitch that may unfairly ruin my perfect record, but we'll get to it when we get to it. From the impact site to the Forest of Hope. Well, that was the first part. I hope it turned out alright. I hope you like it. I'll probably record the next part soon. And thanks for watching.